एक ओंकार सतनाम। करता पुरख निरभउ निर्वैर अकाल मूर्त जोनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद। धन धन गुरु ग्रंथ साहब जी महाराज, धन गुरु गोबिंद सिंह साहिब सच्चे पातशाह। हवाए बंदगी अबुर दर वजूद मरा, वगरना ज़ौक़ चुनी आमदैन नमूद मरा। कमाले करामात कायम करीम, रजा बख्श राज़क रिहा को रही। अमा बख्शो बख्शन देओ दस्तगीर, अमा बख्शो बख्शन देओ दस्तगीर। रजा बख्श रोजी देहो दिल पसीर। वाहेगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह। We are visiting the Bani of the Japji. Japji is a walk into our inner self. A walk from our changing, painful, hungry mind to the satiated self without pain, without sorrow. From the temporary, transient being to the permanent residence of Nijkar. From imperfection to perfection. A journey into the heart of the soul and the spirit. Journey into the being where there is no change and there is forever awareness. Maharaj addresses the basic question of life in the Japji. Kiv satyara hoiye, kiv kude tutte paal. How can I transcend the changing mind? Become the permanent truthful mind, the satnam. And what are the hindrances from the present state I am in to the one I yearn for? 36th body we have to address today, Maharaj. We arrived at these bodies, body meaning a stair, a step. Japji has 38 bodies and 2 shlokas. We are not far away from the culmination of this Bani. Here Guru Sahib tells us the method of meditation, the use of Shabad as the central focus of transformation of our inner being. Maharaj tells us the importance of Dhyan. He tells us the focus of where we need to go, what we need to do. Kiv satyara hoiye. Maharaj has now started the 5 stages of spiritual evolvement, the journey of the man as it transcends to its culmination of being a part of the Creator itself, the Sachkhand. Dharam is the place where we live, where dharam has to be earned, dharamsal. Dharamkhand is the place where we live in our karma world, doing world, and we pay the price for whatever we do and get rewarded for what we do. Karmi karmi hoi vichar. And then he tells us that here in this Dharamkhand also exist those people who are selected, who are rewarded. Tithe son panch parvan. Who are the panch? Those who have achieved the pinnacle of perfection, have solved the puzzle of the ego and its relationship with me and with the Creator. And then Maharaj talks about the Karam Khand, Gyan Khand, where we get the knowledge, awareness of what is the structure of life. 36th Pauri we have to visit today, Maharaj. This Pauri is to do with a more intense part of the transformation of the inner mind. When we work from Sram Khand, and how this subconscious, unconscious person, individual becomes transformed and then acceptable in the court of the Creator, in the house of the Ghar of the Creator. It becomes a punch, acceptable, and is open to enter the door where perfection exists, where the Sada, the life of forever, exists. We will read the 36th Pauri, and then let's try and understand what Maharaj is telling us. Waheguru Ji.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। वीर जी मैं स्टार्ट करा?
जी महाराज जी।
वाहिगुरु जी ज्ञान खंड में ज्ञान प्रचंड तिथै नाद विनोद कोडनंद सरम खंड की बाणी रूप तिथै काढ़त कड़ियै बहुत अनूप ताकि अगरा कथया न जाए जे को कहे पिछे पछताए तिथै कड़ियै सुरत मत मन बुध तिथै कड़ियै सुरा सिदा की सुध। वाहिगुरु जी।
धन्यवाद महाराज। ज्ञान खंड में ज्ञान प्रचंड। Addressing the previous body where he has discussed the Gyan Khand with us, Maharaj is saying that in this Khand, in this spiritual development, stages of spiritual development, Gyan is very strongly present, knowledge is present, awareness is present. Tithe Naad Binod Kod Anand. And here there is Anand. So, in the second stage itself, Maharaj has then now stepped from Dharam Khand to Gyan Khand. And in this, the Anand is already opened. The door to Anand is open. So, from karmi hoi vichar, the person is transcended to becoming a panch in the Dharam Khand. He has used his life for the purpose for which it is made. What is the meaningful of life? And what are we looking for here? These are the key questions of life. Kiv Satyara Hoye addresses this issue. We are actually living a life where we are seeking happiness. Anything which all of us do is a search for happiness. And we, with our limited awareness about happiness, choose certain things, certain steps, certain ways in how we will be happy. Something gets triggered with our conditioning, with our awareness, and we feel this will give us happiness. And then we do that and we wait for ourselves to be happy. But life is a sugar-coated pill. It is sugar on top and bitter inside it. The moment we have moved from the happy stage, we then need to suffer it as well. Because happiness and sorrow in the conditioned world live together. Sukh dukh doye dar kapde. pehre jaye manuk. That is why Guru tells us not to seek happiness, because seeking happiness is actually seeking pain and sorrow. They come together. So Maharaj says that Sukh Dukh, they are like similar. Sukh Dukh ko tum sam kar jano. Do not seek this worldly Sukh, because they are the same. Sukh Dukh ko tum sam kar jano. Or man apamana, and also honor and disgrace. These live together. So don't run after them, but live in acceptance. Whatever is coming your way, and the way to live in that acceptance is to connect with the inner mind. जैसे जल में कमल निरालम, मुर्गाई नहसाने, सुरत शब्द सागर तरिए, नानक नाम बखाने. Like a duck in water, like lotus in water, do not drown. Do not get submerged in the water. So is what Maharaj is telling us. This is how you live in this world. And the only way to do it is take care of your surat. A shabad which we will visit today in today's Pauri. Surat is what? And what is the meaning of this surat? But he says surat shabad. This is the yoga which Guru Nanak Maharaj talks about, the meeting of surat and shabad. He says this is the paradigm which will give us the energy, understanding, and the empowerment to look at the transient world and become aware. There is the Gyan Khand. Aware that my happiness and anand is actually living with me. It's within me. I can seek the happiness in this outside world, but then I will need to accept that pain will come with it. This world is not forever, nor are the conditions here stable. So Maharaj says that here, चिंता ताकि कीजिए जो अनहोनी होए, ए मार्ग संसार में नानक थिर नहीं कोई. Nothing is stable in this world. So don't base your house on the foundations which are not going to be permanent. If we do that, then our house is also unstable. That's why we suffer. That's why we feel pain. That's why we feel agony, because we are expecting permanent happiness in an environment where it doesn't exist. And this is the Maya of the world. Maharaj is now opening the doors of the inner being, so to say. Gyan Khand mein Gyan Prachand Tithe Naad Binod. Like there is rag in the world and it gives us joy. Like there is the structure of games and plays and we feel happy. Like that, there is celebration within us. Kod Kotak in Anand, the Bismad within us, the celebration within us, the Satori within us. Satori is a Buddhist word, which means ecstatic happiness. Maharaj then now moves to the Sram Khand, the Khand which this body actually addresses. Sram Khand ki Bani Roop. The structure of this Sram Khand is very beautiful. It is transcending all states of being. None of these states, right from the Dharam Khand to the Sach Khand, can really be spoken of and described in words. This is what Guru Sahib has told us in every body of these 5 khands. Maharaj says here the structure is very beautiful. It's celebratory and it is joyous. But what happens and how does this khand change us? Saram khand ki bani roop तिथे काड़त कड़िए बहुत अनूप. Here Maharaj has used the word kadat kadiye, which literally means chiseling, carving, transforming. Like a sculpture carves a sculpture out of stone, removes the unwanted, the unnecessary parts of the stone and presents the sculpture. In Italy, it's a very long and tradition to stone carving. It is very famous. And Leonardo da Vinci and others amongst them were very good carvers. They were very adept in sculpting. And they used to say that the sculpture is already there. We only remove the part which is unwanted. So what is being chiseled within us? What is being carved within us? What is being transformed and for what purpose? Tithe kadat kadiye bahut anoop. It's a very special state of being. This is where the real flavor of life exists. The real joys of life exist, which are permanent, where the foundations are very strong, they are permanent, forever, timeless. This is where the human being experiences something beyond the human experience. This is where the state of being gets known to a person. What is the nature and foundation of my inner mind? If you drop some color in an ocean, and the color will percolate down to the bottom very slowly, but it will touch the bottom at some stage. This is the transformation of the mind, where from the surface mind, the mind which is connected to the senses, we connect to Shabad, the color of life, the joyous color of life. And this Shabad percolates down to the bottom of my mind. And this is the carver of our man. If the question is asked, I have to prepare myself to enter the door of the Creator. How do I prepare myself? Then the answer will be, can I prepare myself? Am I or my ego or my conditioning, does it have the ability? Because if that has the ability, then it already knows the Creator. If I already know the conditions of how to transform my mind myself, no, this transformation doesn't happen from the ego. It happens from the Shabad. And Shabad is the Guru. Guru is the removal of darkness, remover of ignorance, remover of pain, and remover of transient happiness to permanent happiness. We are all living in the physical body for some time. And this is an opportunity to transcend the physical body. How we use this opportunity will dictate what is our future. We can live in the karmi hoy vichar, in the karam world. Or can we get transformed and become tithe sohan panch parvan? This is the beauty of life. Panch is the beauty. The beauty is not made by my ego or by my me. It's by the Creator. That which is perfection exists by the Creator's stamp, not by our doing, not by my doing. The Creator stamps perfection on our mind after it's transformed, carved, prepared for the future journey. We don't look at ourselves the way we are, because we are always changing. Heraclitus, a Greek astrologer, said a very beautiful thing. He said, man can never enter the same river twice, for it is a changing river and a changing man. A person is always changing. So the meeting in this world happens only once. The next time a new person, then a new person, because we are all changing human beings. Maharaj is saying, Tithe kadat kadiye bahut anup. The beauty is presenting itself once the mind is carved out. How does this happen? In the Siddh Gosht, Maharaj has explained to us, Avgato nirmayal upje. Avgat meaning the undefined paradigms of life, where there is no definitions, there are no borders, there are no limitations, there are no names, forms and shapes. Avgato, nirmayal upje. Nirmayal is the nirmal man, the pure mind prepared for its journey to Sachkhand. Maharaj says, this is the Creator's Gur Prasad. It's not my doing. But then how does this happen? Who is the chiseler, the carver, the sculptor, who transforms my man and prepares it for the journey ahead? Because I cannot take my gross mind ahead. I cannot carry my identity man into that world. Entering that world requires me to drop my identity, because the identity is attention center. It's this attention seeking center. It is saying, I am the center of the world. The ego is always saying that. So the ego gets hurt if it's not recognized. It gets very happy when it's garlanded in public. Life is defined by ego for us all. Home. It is the way we exist, true. But it is a hindrance in the spiritual world. It is a limitation in the world of the spirit. The Atma is a journey without the self, without the ego. This is what Maharaj is telling us again and again. How mein dirag rog hai, daru bhi isma hai. How mein ego is a pain, it's a disease, and actually it's the only disease. The body is our vehicle for this life. We can call it a boat, a car, aeroplane, whatever. It's the journey, method of journeying this life. We get it as a blessing, as a karam, karmi aave kapda. But the solutions of life lie not in the karam, but in the nether world, nadri mokh dwar. How do I reach this nether world? This is what Sramkhand is about. I lived with Sant Niranjan Singh for many years. And he told me some things about bhakti, about Shabad. And he used to say, when you go into Vairag, when you get tears in your eyes, I don't get them very often, but He says that's the time when the mind is getting transformed, cleansed. And how does this happen? With the participation of Shabad in my man. So, the journey has been initiated much earlier in the Japji. Gaviye suniye, man rakhiye pao. Gao, sing it. Listen to the singing. Narrate it or listen to it. Let Shabad dominate your mind. The love within you will arise. Man rakhiye pao. And the dukh and pain, the world of sorrow will go away. Dukh par har. Sukh kar le jaye. And a new house will be visited where there is no pain. Sukh da kar. This Sukh house is not temporary. That's the difference. If anything in this world is temporary and I think it is permanent, then it is my delusion, my Mirg Trishna, my mirage, my Maya. Whatever life will give me, it will take it away. In the Roman Empire, there used to be a tradition. When Caesar rode his chariot, a person would stand with him, one of his servants, and whisper in his ear, all glory is but fading. It's not forever. What a beautiful message. Life is but fading. It's an opportunity. We can use it to transform our lives and enter the realm where there is no change and there is permanent life. That is the Sant. Maharaj used to say, Sant is the person who has transcended death. Sant वो है जिसने अंत ਨੂੰ संभाल लिया. That is the key to this life. And Maharaj told us this in the Dharam Khand itself, that when we start this journey, we get to know when we depart which way we are going. If we have found Anand within this life, then the likelihood, possibility is stronger that we do not need to wander further. But there can be residual karam which don't get eroded in this life. And you need to revisit. But then the process of Anand will not go away. It will stay with us. Little hidden, but it will surface the moment it finds the opportunity. Because Anand is a door which is left open now. It doesn't close. If the door to Anand closes, then it is not Anand. If Sukh can become Dukh, then it is not Anand. Anand is unconditional happiness, the state of being of the spirit, of the Atma. Anand Roop Ravyo Sab Madde. This entire creation is vibrant with Anand. It reverberates with Anand. It rejoices with Anand. That's why Maharaj uses the words Naad, Vinod, celebration of Naad. Like music is that, like that Anand is present. Anhad Naad, Maharaj uses the term. A sound which has no barriers, no limitations. The Naad, the Anand. And my inner mind lives this state. It's the foundation of my inner mind. मन तो ज्योत स्वरूप है, अपना मूल पहचान. Maharaj is saying that to prepare for the journey ahead, the Bhagat, the Bhaktan, the mind gets transformed by the using of the Shabad. Now, how do I know that this is what is done by the Shabad. Because in the end, in the Shalok, in the Japji, Maharaj uses the same words. Jat pahara tirat sunyar, heran mat ved hathyar, paho kala agan tap tao, panda pao, amrit tit tahal, kadiye, Shabad sachi taksal. He defines the mint within us all, the journey of the treasures, mint, taksal, the wealth. The wealth for the Bhagat doesn't exist in the outside world. It exists in the inner world. Titte kadat kadiye. Here, the karna happens. The mind gets chiseled, carved. Bahut anup. Titte kadat kadiye bahut anup. Maharaj keeps telling us this again and again. Taakiyan galna kathiyan na jaye. This is not a talking world. This is not the world where we should talk about this realm. If we have a dream in our life, and often if we are seeking, some of the initial signs of that seeking will come in dream form. You will feel the presence of some spirit, some guru, or if you have a past association, there will be some message. There is a connection being formed by this Atma world from our inner mind. Mind is not yet prepared. So the revelation will come in dream. When I am not so conscious, where my ego barriers are not so strong, my subconscious is more open. So one of the tricks of inviting Guru Prasad into our lives is say a small prayer while you sleep. Call to your Guru and ask him to visit, or her, whoever it is. This is one of the tricks we can use to open our inner self. And don't be disheartened if there is no answer. Nature knows when we are more ready. The inner life of the man is more like a flow of the river, where a person has been thrown into a vibrant river and is getting carried, and who lets go of his ego, and who trusts that he'll be carried to the right place. Man beche Satgur ke paas. Ego world is dropped before you meet the Guru. This sevak ke karaj ras. And such a person gets his issues resolved. Resolution of issues in this world can only be in one way: when we meet our Guru. Now we can use this life opportunity to address other issues. I'm having a problem at home. I have a family issue. I have financial issues. I have health issues. I can always go to the Guru. But all these resolutions are temporary, because life is temporary. So if I have asked for a solution in this life, it will go away with this life. That's why Guru Sahib encourages us to ask for Naam. Mango daan, Thakur Naam. Our kachu mere sang na chale. Nothing else will go with us. And we all will depart here. So ask for that which is more potent, more empowered, more permanent, more forever, timeless. And that Maharaj is saying is Naam. Now this also happens in Seva. I can do Seva and claim the reward. And that will go into karmi hoy vichar. It will go into the ego world. It will not be my fuel for the spirit journey. Because I've used it for my conditioned mind, and my conditioned mind is temporary. We have to choose these things. I did something for someone and I announced it. So I have claimed the reward. I had a vision in my dream or in any other way, because visions can come in other ways as well. And I have told people. So I have claimed it in my ego world. It will give me a reward in the ego world. But Maharaj says that is a minuscule reward compared to the spirit world. He says, like a till. So, the attitude of life has to do with understanding the resolutions of life. It can't be that I am asking for temporary relief and expecting permanent relief. That's the reason why the Bhagat and Bhaktan can go through a lot of pain and not ask for anything. They are focused on a more permanent solution of life. May be difficult for us to comprehend because of the way we look at life. I'm not saying that we don't ask for or pray for some things which are worldly. There's nothing wrong with that. But if that is my entire consumption of my bhakti, then I am not actually a bhagat. Then I am not looking at the world of panch, tithya son panch parvan. Then it is only like a kala. Something like the tantrics have empowerment. If I know how to pray, of course there is nothing wrong. But if my foundation of life is in the permanent Atma world, and I'm stepping into the physical world and asking for something, nothing wrong with that, because I am already transcended the world of change. But if I do not transcend the world of change, and all my demands, my wants, my needs are to do with only the physical world, then the end story becomes traumatic. It becomes painful, because my entire foundation of life gets taken away from me at death. And the future is not stable, it is wandering. I will wander because I live only in the karma world. Karmi karmi hoy vichar. I haven't transcended the karma world. So the Sram Khand, this Khand which we are today exploring, has to do with the mind which is more stable, which is more permanent, which is more timeless. And where there is Anand with us because we have the Guru's presence, Hazuri. So, the other thing about kadat kadiye, the carving, is that the carving can't be done when the sculpture or the stone is moving. It has to be stable. Leonardo da Vinci was a very famous sculptor, amongst other expertise he had. You can't have a stone which is moving and you are sculpting it. You need it stable. So here, what is being sculpted, what is being transformed, what is being changed, chiseled, cleansed, purified, nirmayal, is the mind. And the mind needs to be stable. So those who have a stable mind can go into this, the Sram Khand. Because the meeting of the Surat and Shabad is a stable mind formula. Thoughtless mind, Maharaj. where I have already transcended the ego. Maharaj then tells us, Tithe kadat kadiye bahut anup. This is a very special carving, special preparation happening of the man. ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਆ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਥੀਆਂ ਨਾ ਜਾਏ. We cannot talk about this realm. Like other realms of spiritual evolution, never talk about it. Now we know of centers where we go for spiritual evolution, dhyan, sangat. Often we make it a picnic function. We talk about other things. We like to judge. So there are a lot of things happening. We make it a tea party. Transformation of the mind requires a certain intensity and an exploration within, not outside. साध को मिलने जाइए, साथ न लीजिए कोई. When we are going to our inner self, don't take anybody with you. Don't make it a public function. Only your Guru can be with you. And if you have merged with your Guru, then only the Guru is. Guru is the transformer, transforms us. The Gur Prasad is the solution of life. It's the resolution of everything. That's why Maharaj says, Thir kar baiso, har jan pyare. Sit stable within your mind, your inner mind. And what will happen? Satgur tumre kaaj savari. The Guru resolves all your issues, not one, everything. Now, I can be having some physical issue, but if I am asking for a spiritual solution, the physical and the spirit become one. Like Baba Buddha saw some twigs being burnt and he got very scared at a young age. He was 8, 10, 12 years of age. And he got so scared that he went to Gurunanak and he asked that I will die. What do I do about death? And Maharaj saw him and said, you are a child, but you're talking like an elder, like a Buddha. So his name became Baba Buddha. His pain was physical, but his seeking was spiritual. He was scared of death. And of course, we are all scared of death. Because the ego is scared of death. Ego is scared of all losses. Because the ego knows everything which I have gained will be lost. But those who have lived this life in a different flavor, who have found a deeper meaning, for them even death is a celebration. Jis marne te jag dare. Bhagat Kabir says that death from which everybody is scared, mere man anand, but my mind is joyous. Marne hi te paiye, puran parmanand. Complete happiness, unconditional happiness, unconditioned, even the physical sense, I will find after I am died. I am already in that state, but I will find it more permanently there. So stable mind and Shabad, these are the ingredients to make this pie. Life Anand, and transcend from a temporary life to a permanent life. These are the ingredients. How do I move from my moving mind to my non-moving mind? That requires an effort. Well, when we are listening to some story, when we are listening to some nice music, we often become thoughtless mind. That's why rags are used as a stimulant with Guru Granth Sahib also. The rag is another word for love. And love is the ultimate stimulant in the spiritual world. साच कहूं मैं, सुन ले हो सबे, जिन प्रेम कियो तिन ही प्रभ पायो. If you are seeking spiritual evolution, meeting Guru, meeting the Creator, then love is your stimulant. No other stimulant can help. And we will see that in the 38th Pauri, Maharaj is addressing exactly this issue. How fear becomes love. The moment we transform ourselves from the ego mind to non-ego mind. From the moving mind to the non-moving mind. How do I drop the mind, Maharaj? I watch the mind. I watch the thoughts. I don't participate. Like I do cycling in younger years when we did cycling. If you cycle, the cycle will keep moving and not fall. But the moment we stop pedaling, it will fall. That is the state of my mind. The moment my ego stops feeding the thoughts, because the thoughts are fed by me. They are not coming from anywhere else. The moment the ego stops feeding the thoughts drop. It's as simple as that. Like there is a turbid pond full of dust and you cannot see the floor of the pond because there's too much dust. But you let the dust settle and you can see through the water what is in the base of the pond, what is in the base of the mind. And the man in its foundation is love and anand. That's why in Christianity they say love is God. But that love is not conditional. It's unconditional love. It is not with ego. Maharaj is giving us tools of how to deal with life, its pain, its sorrow, and a life which is not stable and insecure, a life which is more secure. In this ego life, insecurity is the permanent hallmark, nature. Nothing here is permanent. So, the transcendence, the change, the intense living, all happens in the mind. When Maharaj is also saying, he tells us that what you need to do is drop the moving mind. Chalte ho man rakhe, amrit chakhe. Chalte ho man, moving mind. Drop the moving mind. And there is amrit within you. Guru Amar Das tells us, Surnar Munjan Amrit Khoj De. All creation is looking for Amrit. If I use to define Amrit, Amrit is happiness without death, transcending time. That's why the word Akal is used again and again in the Sikh tradition. Timeless. Akal Purkh, the timeless being. That is the reason why Maharaj is also telling us to live the physical world. No, nothing wrong in that. But while living the physical world, keep your thought, man, focused in the timeless world. Like a child flies the kite and talks to his friends, but his dhyan is in the kite. Just like that. So Maharaj, what do I need to do here? Gaviye, suniye, man rakhiye pao. Start the Shabad and Surt evolution. If the yogis have asked Guru Nanak Maharaj, who is your Guru? Then Maharaj has said, Shabad Guru, Surtutun Chela. Shabad is my Guru. So if Shabad is the Guru, I really don't need a physical Guru. You see, in the Sikh tradition, when they baptize, they use Shabad. The Shabad is used to make the Jal, Amrit. And that Amrit is then drunk by all the people who participate in the ceremony. The Amrit ceremony. Shabad is the stimulant from the beginning to the end. Shabad Guru is my focus, my dhyan, my commitment, my energy center, my investment. And then he says that this is not a temporary one, but this is a permanent one. Kadiye Shabad Sachi Paksal. This is the wealth of life. We may be having crores and thousands of crores, but they are not ours. They will be gone in a minute, in a second. They give the example of Ravan, who had a Sarb Soin ki Lanka hoti, whose house was gold, but it went in a minute. It was not his. So what is not for me to keep is not mine. Isn't that how we look at life? If somebody leaves some money with me and says, I will come after 10 days, you give it back to me. It's not mine. If I start thinking that it's mine, then it's my mistake. It's my mirage, my illusion, my maya. So this wealth of this life is only to use while we are living. It's not ours. The wealth, the relationships, the defined world, all that we know, even the factual knowledge which we have. Maharaj is telling us to prepare our mind, and the preparation is done by the Shabad. Kadiye Shabad Sachi Taksal. This karna, this carving of the mind from its inner self to its, from its ego self to its inner self. The man has different dimensions. Now, if we look at the source man, the source of the mind, he says that from the source, the creator's source, the man is coming. But he talks about then another mind, which is the Unman. Ahman Shakti, Ahman Shiv. This man is coming from the Shakti. Shakti and Shiv, this is the play of life. Shiv being the creator, the one creator, and the Shakti, the Maya, in how it is created. So Maharaj says, Ahman Shakti. The Ahman, which is one form of our mind, is connected to the Shakti, the Maya. Ahman Shiv, and it is coming from the source of the Shiv. Ahman Panj Tat Ka Jiyo. From the 5 elements, it comes to life. Physical body is a example of how the man comes to life. Where is the man before the body and after the body? Maharaj says, Kit ke kahan te aave, kahan hai jaave, kahan hai rahe samai. Where does this man come from? Where does it go? And where does it find rest? So where is the mind going and coming from? Sahib was asked by the yogis that when there is no physical body, where does the man go? I will remember the line in some time. But it's a beautiful line in which Maharaj says, the answer is Sun. It goes into Sun, into the source mind, the Nirakar, the creator. जब देह ना होती ता मन कहते रहता. When there is no physical body, where does the mind go? पवन का वासा सुन निवासा अकल कला तरसोई. there it goes into the sun. So, when the question is asked, "Is man ko koi khojo pai?" Search this man. Tan chote man kahan samai? After the body is gone, where does the man go? The answer is within the mind itself. जब हृदय देह न होती औदू तब मन सुन रहा बैरागी. When there is no man, there is no physical heart, देह body न होती औदू तब मन सुन रहा बैरागी. It goes into बैराग, बिना राग, बिना form, बिना shape, in sun. Sun is the source mind, Maharaj, the universal mind, the creator, God. जब हृदय देह न होती तब मन कैसे रहता? Where does the mind go? Guru Sahib is now journeying us into those spheres of the man where undefined mind exists. The form, shape, name, it gets left behind. Jagrat, Supan, Sukhopat. These are the states of defined mind. Jagrat, living when we are awakened. Supan, dream world. Sukhopat, deep sleep world where the mind is lost. But these are the ego realms where the three gun exist. Gun, qualities, defined world. But this is the undefined world. Avgato. Here, the chiseling will happen where the mind is prepared by the Shabad. And what happens, Maharaj? जेको कहे पिछे पछताए तिथे कड़िए सुरत मत मन बुद्ध. Now, Maharaj, let's visit the exercise of Shabad Guru. When I do jap, which is the basic of name of Japji, jap, then I start the inner transformation of my man. जप मन सदनाम सदा सतनाम हलत पलत मुख उजल होई है. From here and beyond, everywhere this jap will come of value. And when this jap becomes internalized, it becomes simran. That is what Guru Sahib is encouraging us to do. And then when we do jap in the Vaikhari, while saying it, that's the beginning, then the mind starts getting transformed, changed. And then when it gets internalized, there's more love found within us, then it becomes a subconscious participant in purifying our mind. I'll give you an example. I lived with a very spiritual being for some years of my life, in the younger years. Fortunate for me. We had an accident which was traumatic. And that night, in that accident, he was in hospital. He was more injured. I was not so injured. And he said to me that Bani has started within me. This Bani has started within me. Bani, that means, was within him all the time. Some Bani was running in his mind. And that was a symbol of the Turiya, egoless mind. Main nahi, I am not. Kich ho nahi, kich ahe na mora. And this is the preparation for the Turiya. And after that, we separated for some reasons, and then he was not active at all, and he left his physical body after some years. But exactly like that happened. Not immediately, but in stages. What I'm trying to say is that Shabad transforms the mind. So if I use Japji, if I use the Mool Mantar as my base mantra, and I start encouraging connecting to it regularly in dhyan. Dhyan is the important element because surat is a state of mind which is in dhyan, which has got no ego. That's the connection between Shabad and Surat, which transforms us. Kadiye Shabad Sachi Taksal. So, if I need to journey into the inner realm, which people call different names, Kundalini, Madhi, all this comes from here. No such cryptic words are used, but Shabad is used. The inner mind is revealed. The samajana, the meeting with my Creator happens. Transcending death happens. What Guru Sahib is going to call Sadada Jivan, Jivan, life forever, which Maharaj will call Sachkhand, because he likes the word Sach. Guru Nanak Sahib used the word Sach in all his banis, satnam. Maharaj says then, calls it Sachkhand. Bhagat Kabir calls it Bekunt. Bhagat Ravidas calls it Begumpura. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Maharaj calls it Anandpur. A conditionless state of being where there is no death. Nanak Bhakta Sada Vikas, and there is always happiness. Suniye dukh paap ka nas. Sada word is the base word for a Bhagat. He doesn't like a state of being where there is no Sada. And there is no complete control or complete unhindered access. Bhagat Ravidas explains this in his Shabad. He says there is no hindrance to my Anand here. Nobody can block it. Meher mahal na kot kave. This meher, this grace, this Gur Prasad, this bakshish, it can't be stopped by anyone. That is the only bakshish in life. If it can be stopped, then it is not bakshish. If the sukh can be taken away, then it is dukh. If the love can become hatred, then it is not love. Love is unconditional. It's an ashiki. Maharaj says, here the karna will happen. And what gets kadod? First word he uses is surat. Tithe kadiye surat. Surat is the same word used in the Sikh Gosht when Maharaj is telling the yogis, Shabad Guru Surat Tun Chela. Surat is the egoless mind, where the home is gone in love, and there is stability, ikman. When Maharaj is encouraging us for meditation of Shabad, he says one mind. Ikman, ikchit, one mind, not moving mind, not double mind, thoughtless, thoughtful mind, no. This is Bhakti Maharaj. Tuk dam karari jo karo, Hatir Hazur Khudai. Stabilize your mind for a fraction of a second. Tuk dam karari jo karo. Hazir Hazur Khudai. You will see Khuda, Hazir, God, present in front of you. If you want to see it, stop the moving mind. Chalte ho man rakhe. Amrit chakhe. Surt is kadod here. How? Maharaj, when the Shabad is internalized, it is always present with me. Whether I am doing something, subconsciously Shabad is living with me. It needs a certain amount of sangat. It needs some amount of self-commitment to Shabad. So when we go into sangat, don't focus on the outer world. Don't focus on the tea party. Focus on the inner journey, the 11th direction. Internalize Shabad within us. How do I internalize? Sing it first with your eyes closed. When we meditate for kirtan in the morning, we make it dark so we can go in easily. And that's the dhyan of life. That's the amrit of life, Maharaj. That's like a lottery in the spiritual world when we can go in for some time. That's where the seeds will get sown, which will kado, chisel, carve the mind for preparation of journey into Sachkhand. Kadiye tithe kadiye surt mat. Mat is the ego mind and surt is the egoless mind. Man buddh, and the mind becomes aware. Aware of what, Maharaj? What its actual state of being is. Man is in its core Anand, Maharaj. It's love. This is the Hira. Hire jaisa janam hai, kaudi badle jaye. This is the reason the sadhu doesn't get scared of power, because he already has the stability of Naam within him. We know all the dialogue between Alexander and Diogenes. Power and sadhu meeting. What's the result? Tithe kadiye sura siddha ki sud. And here, the sur, the powerful, the sadhu, siddh, those who have transformed the inner mind, the human being gets transformed into a devta, so to say. And he becomes timeless. We become timeless. We live the physical life, but we are spiritual beings now. Spirit-born people. And death will take away the physical body, but will not take away our identity of life. Because we've given up what life will take away from us willingly before death. We've given up the ego, the home world, while living it. Tithe kadiye sura siddha ki sud. That's the last line of this Sram Khand. The Sram will happen with the Shabad Maharaj. Bhagat Kabir is a beautiful Shabad, and he says, Chal re Vaikunt tujhe letar. Come, let's go to that realm, Vaikunt, where there is no death, where there is no loss, no pain, no sorrow. Tujhe letaro. Let me make you cross this transient world forever. Eche hai ta prem ke chabak maro. And if your mind becomes a hindrance, use love as a stimulant. De mohar lagam pehravo. Sagal tajeen gagan dodavo. I have given up the entire world in thought, in ekagrata, in man. Gagan dodavo. And the 10th door, Gagan, Dasme Dwar, where the Guru Guru opens the door to the 10th door. Once the Guru opens it, then only we find the Anand within us. Sagal tajeen kagan dadam. अपने विचार असवारी कीजिए. विचार here is ध्यान. अपने ध्यान, शब्द का ध्यान असवारी कीजिए. सहज के पावड़े भगतर लीजिए. Sahaj is non-doing state of mind. Calmness, relaxed mind. These are all beautiful states of existence, Maharaj. If we can know them, if we can work towards them while we are living, after that we can't. The opportunity of life exists while we live. भाई प्राप्त मानुख दे हुरिया, गोबिंद मिलन की है तेरी बरिया. You have got the physical body and an opportunity to meet your creator. Avar kaaj tere kite na kaam. No other work will be relevant in the realm ahead. Mil sadh sangat, Bhaji keval naam. Meet the sadhu, sangat, and contemplate on naam, on Shabad. The 36th body, Maharaj. The Sram Khand. Preparing us for the Karm Khand, the Nadar Khand. And then Sach Khand. We are close to the culmination of the Japji Maharaj. I hope I was able to get across what I was trying to say. Forgive my mistakes. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand and we can discuss it. Or we will end the session with Anand Sahib in the end. Thank you.
Good evening.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Ji.
This is so wonderful.
Hey.
So, when you were talking about your experience with your guru on the when you were driving on a motorcycle or you were going somewhere and you had the accident, you mentioned that the Bani within is the symbol of the Turiya. And this is something he mentioned. Can you just elaborate a little bit on this phrase?
What I was trying to say was that the Bani, the Shabad, is the transformative energy. And it is transformative within us. So what he was telling me was that the Bani which has started within him, after that incidence, is this Bani which is the symbol of the Turiya Avastha. So of course he was constantly in dhyan of Shabad. The Bani was always there. But this one occasion, what I'm trying to say is that the mind gets carved by this Bani. If we live this Bani subconsciously all our lives, and it is always transforming and connecting us. And it is what is my destiny, my future, my present, my everything. So the foundation of life is the Shabad.
Thank you so much.
Ji. Gagandeep has asked a question. बहुत कोशिश कर पर मन एकाग्रचित ना हुंदा जो सिमरन सारे दुख दर्द याद आ जाते हैं. कोशिश ज्यादा नहीं करनी है, ਛੱਡ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਿਲੈਕਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਿਲੈਕਸੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਜਾਈਏ, ਆਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਜਾਈਏ, ਕੁਝ ਡਿਮਾਂਡ ਨਾ ਰੱਖੀਏ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੀ, ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਨ ਚੰਚਲ ਹੈ। ਚੰਚਲ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਸ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਇਹਦਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਔਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਇਹਦਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਜੇ ਇਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੰਗਤ ਹੋਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਰੋ। ਕਈ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨੇ ਇਹਦੇ। ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰ ਲਓ, ਸੇਵਾ ਵੀ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਹੈ। ਕੁਛ ਵੀ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਈ ਲੋਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਦਾਲ ਬਣਾ ਲਓ ਘਰ, ਲੰਗਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਵੰਡ ਆਓ, ਜਾ ਕੇ ਭਾਂਡੇ ਮਾਂਜ ਲਓ। ਇਹ ਵੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਦਾ, ਧਿਆਨ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨੂੰ, ਸੁਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਇਕਾਗਰ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਹੈ। ਦੂਸਰਾ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪ ਅਗਰ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਯਤਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਧਿਆਨ ਕਰਨ ਨਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੈਰ ਕਰੋ ਨੇਚਰ ਦੇ ਨੇੜੇ, ਰਿਲੈਕਸ ਕਰ ਜੋ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ, ਡਿਜ਼ਾਇਰਸ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ, ਉਸ ਭਟਕਣ ਤੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਭਟਕਣ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਭਟਕਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਯਤਨ ਕਰ ਲਓ। ਇੱਕ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਗਾਵਾਂ, ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰ ਲਵਾਂ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਦੇ ਜ਼ਰੀਏ ਕਰ ਲਵਾਂ। ਇੱਕ ਇਹ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਵੀ ਹੈ। ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰ ਲਵਾਂ, ਸੰਗਤ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਏ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦੀ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੋਏ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਏ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰ ਲਵਾਂ। ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨੂੰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਂ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ, ਉਸ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਮਾਂ ਬਿਤਾਵਾਂ। ਕੁਛ ਇਹ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਹਨ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਨ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੰਗਤ ਅਗਰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲੇ ਦੀ ਕਰ ਸਕੋ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਰਾਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਾਇਮ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਮਨ ਨੂੰ। ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਬੈਠ ਜਾਓ, ਕੁਛ ਚਿਰ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਹੋ ਜਾਓ, ਫਿਰ ਗਾਓ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨੂੰ, ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਗਾ ਲਓ, ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਸੁਣੋ, ਉਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਾਓ, ਉਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣੋ। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਯਤਨ ਕਰੋ। ਪਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਈਗੋ ਇੱਕ ਕੁਇਕ ਸੈਂਡ ਦੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੈ, ਜਿਤਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਐਫਰਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਉਤਨਾ ਸਿੰਕ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਤਨਾ ਐਫਰਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਦਿਓ, ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਓ, ਬਸ ਹੋਣ ਦਿਓ। ਲੈਟ ਇਟ ਹੈਪਨ, ਲੈਟ ਗੋ। ਜੀ ਪ੍ਰਿਆ ਕਲਸੀ ਜੀ।
हेलो
जी।
हाँ जी, वाहिगुरु जी।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ।
जी तुसी हले दस रहे सी ना कि ध्यान करो, अमृत वेला करो, शब्द करो, कीर्तन करो, फिर भी कई बारी मन बड़ा शांत हुंदा है ते गुरु दा नाम ते लैंदे ही हां, ध्यान भी करीदा है, पर अमृत वेला भी करनी आ, जपजी साहब दा पाठ भी करनी आ, मूल मंत्र भी, बट कई वेले फिर भी होंदा है कि कई चीज़ां बड़ी डिस्टर्बिंग हो जांदियां ने। सो हाउ टू ओवरकम दैट?
ਦੇਖੋ, ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਸਮਝਣੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਪ੍ਰਿਆ ਜੀ ਕਿ ਜੀਵਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਡਿਸਟਰਬੈਂਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ।
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ? ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੀ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਇਰ, ਸਾਡੀ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਇਨਵੋਲਵਡ। ਦੇयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਵਿਚ ਡਿਫਾਈਨ ਆਰ ਸਟੇਟ ਆਫ ਮਾਈਂਡ। ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸ ਸਟੇਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੀ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਕੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਕਾਮਨਾ ਹੈ, ਡਿਜ਼ਾਇਰ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਫਰਕ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੀ ਦੌੜ ਕਿਤਨੀ ਦੂਰ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਸਭ ਵੀ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਦੇਖੋ, ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਆਪ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਕਿ ਕੁਝ ਸਮਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੱਢ ਲਈ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਮੈਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਹਨੇਰੇ 'ਚ ਕਰਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ।
ਹਨੇਰੇ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਮੈਂ।
ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਮਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਟਿਕਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਕਦੇ ਕਦੇ ਟਿਕਦਾ, ਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਟਿਕਦਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ।
नहीं, मन तो हमेशा टिकता है क्योंकि मैं लगातार कर रही हूँ, एक भी दिन मैंने मिस नहीं किया है। I haven't missed it even a single day. I started this somewhere in January and till today I haven't missed doing it a single day. But no matter what time I sleep, but I get up at 4 and I do it every day. And वो अंदरों मेरा करन दा दिल करता है, पर कई बारी होता है ना लोग की कुछ कह देंदे ने ते that becomes very disturbing. So you know, I am like sort of a person who is very emotional and doesn't try to, I mean like I try to come out of it, but like नहीं होता है। कई बारी वो चीज हॉन्ट करती रहती है, कोई वो घूमता रहता है सारा टाइम। that becomes, you know, how to overcome that, you know।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰੋ, ਬੜੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੈ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ। ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ, when you are doing this intensity, don't say it out। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਾਈਵੇਟਲੀ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ, ਅਲੱਗ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪਬਲਿਕਲੀ ਨਾ ਕਦੇ ਕਹੋ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ। ਜੋ ਵੀ ਭਗਤੀ ਕਰੋ, ਮੈਥਡ ਕਰੋ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਕਹੋ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਰਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਠਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ।
जी
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਨਾ this will become more empowered and it will be more solution oriented if you don't say it out।
okay
ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ, ਹਾਂ, ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦਾ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਸੰਤ ਅਤਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜੀਵਨੀ ਹੈ। I don't know if you read, if you go into Punjabi or if you know Punjabi or not।
I cannot read Punjabi but yes
ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਵਰਤਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਧਿਆਨ ਨਾਲ, ਸਵਾਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ
Use that initially. That's a stimulant to break the thought mind।
okay, can you just explain how to use that?
Waheguru, in and out breath। Waheguru Shabad is designed to be to cover one breath। Wahe is throwing the breath out like that, and don't have to physically say the word, but you in your breath use it as a stimulant। If you do it for say 10 minutes, it will break your thought world, and then go into dhyan world। But remember this, don't leave this, don't let go, just go on doing this। What you are doing is absolutely a new direction in your life। Do not let go in any condition, and never announce this again in public to anyone।
Definitely not।
To anyone, your family will know because you get up in the morning, but let them look at you as an idiot। Don't tell anybody about what you're doing। That's the best way of utilizing the benefit of this state।
right
all the best। ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ। ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ one more thing, use one ਸ਼ਬਦ, don't use, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਪਜੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਪਕੜ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਪਕੜ ਲਓ, ਉਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੜੀ ਜਾਓ, ਉਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਕੜੋ। ਜਿਵੇਂ
like for example
ਫॉर ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਲੈ ਲਿਆ ਮੈਂ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਮੈਂ ਮੂਲ ਮੰਤਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੈਖਰੀ 'ਚ ਬੋਲੀ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਤੇ there will be a state where ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਏਗੀ, ਉਹ ਅੰਦਰ ਚੱਲ ਪਏਗੀ,
ਚੱਲ ਪਏਗੀ। ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਔਰ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਅਜੱਪਾ ਜਾਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਸਬਕੌਨਸ਼ੀਅਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ। That's the way। ਗਾਵੀਏ, ਸੁਣੀਏ, ਮਨ ਰੱਖੀਏ ਪਾਓ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਬਣ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੈਠੋਗੇ, ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਆਏਗਾ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਇਹ ਹੈ ਭਗਤੀ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸਾਰੇ ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹੋਗੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦਾ ਆਧਾਰ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ, ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ।
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ। never say it out, do it quietly, and then do some other things with it। For example, ਕੁਝ ਸੇਵਾ ਹੱਥੀ ਕਰੋ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਥੋੜਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸਿਮਰਨ ਵੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ, ਫਿਜ਼ੀਕਲ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਕਰ ਸਕੋ। ਆਪ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਲੰਗਰ 'ਚ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰ ਲਓ, ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ એનર્ਜੀ ਡਿਸਟ੍ਰੀਬਿਊਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸਟਿਮੂਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਵੱਧ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਹੈ
ਜੀ 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 ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੀ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੈ। I can understand you are sensitive, that's the reason you are committed to Shabad। Your emotions are your charge energy। Emotions are the lungs of life। ਭਾਵਨੀ ਭਗਤ ਭਾਏ ਕੌਡੀ ਅਗਰ ਭਾਗ ਰੱਖੇ। Bhavana is the center energy of life। This is what energizes bhakti। Bhakhya pao apar। The language of God is love, it's energy, emotions। They are the lungs of life. So when you get, now this is also giving you a signal that when you hear something, it hits you hard. It goes into your inner mind and it disturbs your mind. That means Suniye is becoming empowered in you. So use Shabad as this empowerment. जी महाराज, कोई ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ ਉਹ ਮਹਿਸੂਸ ਉਹ ਘਰ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ, ਇਹ ਸੁਣਨ ਦੀ ਪਾਵਰ ਹੈ. ਦੈਟਸ ਵਾਟ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਇਜ਼ ਟੈਲਿੰਗ ਅਸ ਟੂ ਯੂਜ਼. ਸੁਣਿਏ ਦੁੱਖ ਪਾਪ ਕਾ ਨਾਸ, ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਣਨਾ. ਫਿਰ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੂਜਾ ਸੁਣਨਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਮੀਨਿੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖੇਗਾ.